namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasade Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Lord Chaitanya's childhood pastimes are described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And they were witnessed by people like Murari Gupta. And Murari Gupta kept a diary with a record of all the activities of Lord Chaitanya. So as a young person, Nimai, as he was called, as a young boy, he was very mischievous and performed many things which brought complaints from the neighbors. And they would come to Jagannath Mishra and Sachi and they would tell about the activities of Nimai. And often Nimai would deny it. He'd say, no, I didn't do this. No, it's not true. You shouldn't believe them. He would deny. So one day, Mother Sachi wanted to catch her son. She wanted to catch him doing his mischief. But when he saw his mother coming, he ran away from that place. One time, Nimai sat upon the place where all the garbage was thrown away. In the times of Lord Caitanya, means 500 years ago, all the cooking was done in clay pots. There was no plastic. There were no metal plates. Everything was done on clay pots made from the earth. So whenever they would cook, they would use new pots. They would use a new clay pot every time. And they were doing they still do like this even today in Jagannath Puri. So every home they would have a pit outside the home, and they'd put all the garbage, all the old pots, they'd throw the pots into the pit. And there would be some remnants of the food would also be thrown there. And Lord Caitanya, Nimai, he went one day and he sat there on top of all these pots and all the garbage. So Lord Caitanya sat there and he wanted to give his mother a lesson. So when Mother Sachi saw Nimai sitting on the pots, she protested and she said, "Why have you touched these dirty pots?" Now you've touched all these dirty pots, now you've become impure, so now you have to go and take bath again in the Ganga. So when Lord Caitanya heard this, he taught his mother about the absolute truth. Lord Caitanya said to Mother Sachi, he told her, he said that this is pure and that something else is impure. This is just a sentimental idea. There's no basis, there's no fact in this. Nimai said, you have cooked food for Lord Vishnu in these pots, and you offered the food to Lord Vishnu. So how can these pots be untouchable? How can they be impure? Everything in relation with Vishnu, everything in relation with Vishnu is an expansion of it's an expansion of Vishnu's energy. Lord Vishnu is the super soul, and he is eternal, and he is uncontaminated. So how can these pots be considered pure or impure? So when Mother Sachi heard this, she was astonished, but still she forced Nimai to go and take a bath. Sometimes Mother Sachi would lay down on her bed and she'd take her son with her. And when she would lay down, she would see the denizens. She would see all the denizens in heaven. And it was like they were filling the whole house. They had all come to see Nimai. So one time Mother Sachi said to Lord Caitanya, she said, please go and call your father. Tell your father Jagannath Mishra to come. So when Lord Caitanya was asked like this by his mother, he went outside to call his father. And when Lord Caitanya was going out, Mother Sachi and Jagat, they could hear the sound of ankle bells from his lotus feet. So, Lord Chaitanya's father, Jagannath Mishra, said, this is a very wonderful thing. How can there be the sound of ankle bells when he has no ankle bells on his feet? And Mother Sachi said, I saw also something wonderful. She said, I saw so many people were coming down from the heaven and they were crowding the whole courtyard. And they were making noisy sounds. I could not understand. Mother Sachi said, I could not understand. But she said, I think they were offering prayers to someone. So Jagannath Mishra said, doesn't matter what it is. We don't need to worry. Let there always be good fortune for our son. That is all I want. Another time, Jagannath Mishra, he saw all the mischievous behavior of his son and he told him off, he chastised him. He taught him lessons in morality. So that same night, Jagannath Mishra had a dream, and in his dream, he saw a Brahmana come before him, and he was speaking words in anger. He said to him, "My dear Mishra, you do not know anything about your son. You think him your son, and therefore you're chastising him." Jagannath Mishra said, "Well, this boy may be a demigod, or he may be a mystic yogi, or he may be even a saintly person, but it doesn't matter. He is only my son." So it's the duty of a father to educate his son in both religion and morality. And if I don't give him this education, then he won't know. And the Brahmana said to Jagannath Mishra, he said, "Well, if your son is a mystic boy, if he is self-effulgent with perfect knowledge, what is the use of your education?" So Jagannath Mishra, he saw in his dream, he saw this Brahmana in his dream, and the Brahmana was telling him that his son, your son Nimai, is not an ordinary human being. So, Jagannath, the Brahmana said, if he is a transcendental person, then there's no need to educate him. But if he is Narayan, still it is the duty of a father to instruct his son. So this way Jagannath Mishra and the Brahmana, they were discussing the principles of religion. But Jagannath Mishra, he was so absorbed in the mood of being the father, he didn't want to know anything else. Just like Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, they worship Lord Krishna as their son. Even though Lord Krishna is worshipped by the hymns of the Vedas and by great personalities through Sankhya Yoga, so in the same way, Jagannath Mishra, he considered Lord Caitanya his little boy. So the Brahmana was very pleased after talking with Jagannath Mishra. And when Jagannath Mishra woke up from his dream, he was very surprised. Jagannath Mishra told about his dream. He told about it to all his friends and relatives, and all of them were very surprised to hear. So every day, Lord Caitanya Nimai, he gave more and more pleasure to his parents. So then it came time for Lord Caitanya to begin his education. And there was a ceremony for him to begin his education. And in just a few days, Nimai learned all the letters and all the combinations of letters. So, like that, when the child begins education, they do this ceremony, they do the samskar for beginning the education. The teacher, they give the child a piece of chalk, and then they hold the hand of the student, and then they guide him to write the letters. So it happened that Lord Chaitanya's father, Jagannath Mishra, left the world. And after he left the world, then Mother Sachi wants to get Lord Chaitanya married. Right, just like Krishna's childhood, is divided into 3 stages. So Lord Caitanya also, his childhood activities are in 3 stages.
正如主 Krishna 他的人员分为3个部分，主 Caitanya 他的孩提的活动也是分为3个时期。
When the child is up to 5 years old, he's staying at home with the mother.
孩子在5岁之前都是和自己的母亲在一起。
And then from the age of 5 to 10, then he begins his studies and he starts going to school.
从5岁到10岁，孩子开始他的学业，开始上学。
So that it happened to Lord Caitanya. He was going to the school of Gangadas Pandit and studying grammar.
主 Caitanya 呢就去了冈格达斯潘迪克的学校学习语法。
And he would learn all the grammar rules just by hearing them one time.
他只是聆听一遍，就掌握了所有语法规则。
So when he was a little grown up, Gangadas Pandit taught him grammar of a high standard.
主 Caitanya 长大了一点之后，冈格达斯潘迪克就开始教授他高级的语法知识。
So you want to study Sanskrit, you have to first learn grammar.
谁要想学习梵文的话，首先要掌握梵文的语法。
And to finish studying Sanskrit grammar, it takes about 12 years.
仅仅是掌握梵文的语法，就需要12年的时间。
But once you learn all the rules and regulations, then all the other scriptures are easy to understand.
但是，一旦学会了梵文的语法，那么其他的经典就可以变得很容易理解了。
Yeah, Sanskrit grammar is the gateway to education.
梵文语法是教育的入门。
So Nimai became very expert in commenting on the different Sanskrit texts.
尼麦呢就开始就对于评论这个梵文的这些诗文非常的精通。
And when they would debate, Lord Caitanya would always be victorious. He would always win the debates, even though he was a neophyte.
每当有辩论的时候，尼麦他总是胜出，哪怕他只是一个新人。
So one day Lord Caitanya fell at the feet of his mother and asked her to give him one thing in charity.
有一天，尼麦呢就拜倒在他母亲的足下，就恳求母亲给他一布施。
So mother said, she said, I will give you whatever you want. You can ask whatever you want, I will give you.
萨是母亲说：“无论你想要什么，我都会给你的。”
So then Nimai said, my dear mother, please do not eat any grains on Ekadasi day.
尼麦对他母亲说道：“我亲爱的妈妈，在 Ekadasi 这一天， 请不要禁食五谷。
So from the beginning of his childhood, Lord Caitanya taught the system of fasting on Ekadasi.
从孩提时代起，主柴丹尼就教导了这个，在 Ekadasi 当天要禁食的体系。
And there's a statement in the scripture that if you eat grains on Ekadasi, you become a murderer of your mother or your father, your brother and your guru.
在经典当中就有这样的话说，谁要是在 Ekadasi 禁食了五谷，他就变成了他的母亲、父亲、兄弟和guru的谋杀犯。
How? So on Ekadasi for the purpose of Vishnu, everything is cooked. Rice and dal and chapati, it's all cooked and offered to Vishnu.
而在 Ekadasi 呢，一切呢都是无论是米饭、豆汤、chapati 都供奉给主 Vishnu。
But a Vaishnava should never take Vishnu Prasad on Ekadasi.
Vaishnava 永远不应该在 Ekadasi 这一天呢禁食五谷的菩萨的。
Even Mahaprasadam, the food offered to Vishnu, will not be taken on Ekadasi.
哪怕是供奉给 Vishnu 的 Mahaprasad 也不应该在 Ekadasi 这一天来荣耀。
Right? It's an offense to take any kind of grain on Ekadasi, even if it's offered to Lord Vishnu.
在 Ekadasi 这一天禁食五谷是一项冒犯，哪怕是五谷是供奉给 Vishnu。
So Mother Sachi said to Nimai, she said, "You have spoken very nice. I shall not eat any grain on Ekadasi."
母亲 Sati 对尼麦说：“你说的非常好，我在 Ekadasi 这一天，我以后不会再禁食五谷了。”
So from that day she began to observe fasting on Ekadasi.
就从当天起，母亲 Sati 就每到 Ekadasi 便遵守戒食的原则。
So some brahmanas, some smarter brahmanas, they say that it's only widows who observe fasting on Ekadasi. But they say if a woman has her husband, she doesn't have to fast on Ekadasi.
有一些 smart brahmin， 他们声称是只有寡妇才会在 Ekadasi 这天戒食，还有丈夫的女性也不用在 Ekadasi 这一天戒食。
But Mahaprabhu, Lord Caitanya, he taught that for a woman, even if she's not a widow, she should observe the Ekadasi and she should not touch any grains.
而Caitanya 教导说，哪怕一个女子不是寡妇，也要遵守 Ekadasi 的戒食原则，不要禁食五谷。
So Lord Caitanya had one older brother, Vishwarup. And when Vishwarup heard that his father wanted to arrange a marriage for him, get him married to a girl, then Vishwarup left home and he became a sannyasi.
他听到他父亲想要给他安排婚事的时候，他便离家出走，当了散亚西。
And he was, as a sannyasi, he was traveling to all the holy places.
他就以散亚西托钵僧的身份去圣地旅游。
So Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra were very sorry. They were not happy to know that their son had gone away. And Lord Caitanya, he tried to comfort them.
萨提母亲和扎格纳米舍感到内心十分的悲伤，并不希望自己的儿子离家出走，但是主彩他们安慰了他们俩。
And Lord Caitanya said to his mother and father, he said, "It's very good, Vishwarup, my brother has taken sannyas. Then this way he has delivered both his father and his mother's family."
主彩他们安慰他父母亲说：“我的兄长Vishwarup当托钵僧，这是件好事。他当托钵僧便拯救了他父亲和母亲的家族。”
So some people, they say that Lord Caitanya did not approve of taking sannyas in the Kali Yuga.
有些人说，主彩他们并不赞成人们在康利年代，当托钵僧。
In the age of Kali, 5 acts are forbidden.
在康利年代，有5个活动是被禁止的。
And one of them is the taking of sannyas.
而其中的一项就是晋升到三亚斯阶层。
But Lord Caitanya himself took sannyas, and he also approved of his older brother taking sannyas.
主彩他俩，他本人也晋升到了三亚斯阶层，他也允许了他的兄长晋升成为一位托钵僧。
Now it's recommended that one should take sannyas and dedicate his life for the service of Krishna.
一位散亚斯呢，他就会把他的生命贡献出来。
Yeah, sannyas is meant for dedicating his life for the service of Krishna.
一位散亚斯，他的目的就是要把他的生活奉献给服务主 Krishna。
So everyone should take that kind of sannyas.
人人都应该去当这样一位散亚斯，晋升到这样的散亚斯阶层。
It's the best way to serve the society.
而这便是服务社会的最佳方式。
But the Mayavadi sannyas, that is not good.
而假象玛雅巴里散亚，假象中的散亚，这是不好的。
They take sannyas simply for their own benefit.
他们晋升到散亚阶层呢，仅仅是为了自己的好处。
They think they've become Brahman, or they think they're Narayan.
他们认为他们已经成为了Brahman，他们已经成为了Narayan。
And they spend the whole day begging so they can fill their bellies.
他们花一整天的时间乞讨，好填满自己的肚腹。
And even nowadays you've got people who are sannyasis, they eat everything, just like a dog and hogs.
在当今年代，还有些人们，还有一些散亚斯，他们什么都吃，就像猪狗一样。
So that kind of sannyas, that is prohibited in this age.
所以，这一类的散亚斯，这一类的竞争呢，散亚阶层是在这个年代遭到禁止的。
So Shankaracharya, he was very strict about the principles of taking sannyas.
香卡查雅对于接受散晋升到婆僧阶层十分严格。
But later, all the Mayavadi sannyasis became degraded, and they propagated the false philosophy that everybody's become God.
但是后来的散玛雅瓦蒂散亚斯都变得十分的腐败堕落，他们推崇着一种错误的哲学，说人人都变成了神。
Lord Caitanya rejected that kind of sannyasi.
Caitanya 摒弃这种的散亚斯。
So accepting sannyas is one of the items of varnashram.
接受散亚斯阶层呢是varnashram制度当中的其中之一。
So Lord Caitanya told his parents, he said that he would serve them. And so when Lord Caitanya told his parents like this, then his mother and father were satisfied.
就Caitanya告诉他的父母亲说，他会服侍他的父母，他的父母听到这番话，内心十分的满足。
So one day Lord Caitanya, he had betel nuts which had been offered to the deities, but he became intoxicated and he fell down on the ground unconscious.
有一天，就Caitanya他吃了供奉给神像的槟榔，他就变得有点陶醉，他倒在地上失去了知觉。
So we're told we have regulated principles. We don't take any intoxication. So we should never touch betel nut, even if it's offered to Lord Vishnu.
我们有一个规范原则，就是不吸食麻醉品，不要碰这些，即使他们是供奉的主威什姆。
So Lord Caitanya was teaching us that we should not try to take any intoxication like betel nut.
主Caitanya就是在教育我们不应该吸食任何的麻醉品，应该去吃槟榔。
So his father and mother saw that Nimai had fainted. They sprinkled water on his mouth and they brought him back to consciousness.
当他的父母亲看到自己的儿子昏倒在地，就在他的口中洒水，这样让他恢复了知觉。
And when Lord Caitanya came back to consciousness, he told them, he said, Vishvarupa, my older brother, took me away from here, and he asked me to also accept the sannyas order.
当他清醒过来，才跟他说：“我哥哥为什么不好？但是我哥哥，我见到我的哥哥，他告诉我，他要带我，他让我也自己当和尚。”
So Lord Caitanya said, I told Vishwarup, I said, I have my helpless father and mother. And I'm just a child, so how I don't know anything about sannyas.
我告诉悲去的人说，我的父母他们现在都是孤苦无助的，而我自己也是个孩子，我对于散鸭子一无所知。
And Lord Caitanya said, later I will become a householder and I will serve my parents.
等我长大以后，我会当居士，服侍父母。
And this will satisfy Lord Narayan and also the goddess of fortune.
这样的行为将会取悦主拿拉那以及幸运女神。
So when Vishwarup heard this, then he brought Lord Caitanya home and he told him, he said, offer thousands and thousands of obeisances unto my mother Sachi.
后来，威什文鲁就把我送回了家里。他说：“请向我的母亲撒去，致以千万次的顶礼。”
So in this way, Lord Caitanya performed many pastimes. But why he did so, he says, I cannot understand.
就这样，主柴他俩善良许许多多的小时候，他为什么这么做？我并不清楚。
So Lord Caitanya and his devotees, when they come to this world, they have a mission. And sometimes they all act in a way which is difficult to understand.
主柴他俩他奉献着项目城市，是有着自己的使命的，他们的行为就是有时候很难理解。
It's very difficult to understand the activities of a Vaishnava even.
甚至要去理解为什么活动也是很难的。
A Vaishnava can accept anything favorable for his mission.
因为当时他的接受有利于他履行自己使命的任何事情。
But foolish people will criticize them and say, oh, they're not supposed to do that, they're not supposed to use this. So they'll commit offenses, they'll criticize the Vaishnavas.
但是愚蠢之人呢，会对大家横加指责说：“哦，他们不能这么做，他们不能用这个事情。”就这样，他们对外省犯下了冒犯。
So when you criticize a Vaishnava, then that's very bad for your spiritual life.
谁一旦批评外省，他的灵性生活就会非常不利于他的灵性生活。
All right, so we'll stop here and ask if there's any questions.
我们就讲到这里，接下来有什么问题可以提上来。你可以开麦。请问大家有没有问题？
Are there no questions?
Since no questions.
Okay, so maybe we'll just stop then. Okay, 我们感谢 Guru Mani Mataji 给我们翻译，我们感谢奉献者聆听，我们祝福你们过普尼玛快乐，我们希望你们都准备好过普尼玛。Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki